Either fellows, you'll see I've got this lovely engine, which we've removed a few things from. Obviously it's for a lot. We all know how it works. You have pistons reciprocating, they push the conrods, and those make the crankshaft rotate. There are 4 of them. And recently we stumbled upon this interesting concept. And we'd like to try out this sort of engine layout to see whether it's possible for something like this to work. What sort of benefits there are to it, or maybe it'll be all cons and no pros. But let's try it out and see what comes out of it. Let's go. Now, since we are completely revamping the bottom end, we'll try making this easier by cutting out a piece of the block, removing bits that will be getting in the way while we progress with the build. We've cut out a piece of the block in order to facilitate access and for us to have a better view of what's going on. Set up an axis, we cut all of this out right away. The rockers need to be 150 millimeters in length. I think we should just test fit the parts to see what happens when the piston moves up and down. Right, so the rockers will be made out of bits of old conrods, piston pins. So we want to start by making a mock-up, just to figure out how we can make a working model. You'll see that the block is a standard piece, and that makes it more difficult to work with. But we're not going to give up. We'll do some cutting, hacking, welding, and see what comes out of this. Let's go. This way the piston moves like it should. We've worked out this particular vector, but what about the other one? We're gonna need some sort of moving connections. We're trying to make the rotating assembly components as uniform as we can, for us to be able to start the engine in some capacity. Check this out, guys. We've made that mock-up, where the pistons are connected to each other in pairs with the help of these rockers. We've used conrods for the purpose. Nothing is binding, everything is good. And since the mock-up turned out this good, now it's time to build the actual working model based on this mock-up. Now we need to get everything connected. We'll be running a single connecting rod, and the whole thing will work together. We've made this piece, inside of which the rocker and its pin are going to slide back and forth. After all, when the assembly moves up and down, the angle is going to change, which means changes in the length as well. The change of angle relative to the crankshaft will be handled by this conrod. What we're looking at here is a pretty intricate sort of two-piece conrod. We're making a crankshaft. Right now I'll be marking up the holes, which we'll then proceed to bore out. Okay, this is getting pretty interesting. When we put everything together, the pistons, rockers, conrods, and all of the connecting elements, it looks like the crankshaft needs to be spaced away. And so we're going to be installing these brackets. We're spacing it about 150 millimeters away relative to its normal position. And yeah, it'll be situated right here. Obviously, we're going to be custom making the crankshaft. And there's the added benefit of us having a better view. So look here, guys. We've converted the mock-up into a working prototype. We've spaced out the crankshaft just as we intended to. It has got a single conrod. We've got the bracket that connects the two rockers. And the issue with this setup is we had to tie two vectors together, which is to say the rockers move back and forth, while the conrod sways left to right. But there's the system, we got a little conrod, everything is looking good. The assembly is happy to rotate. Yes, it is making a bit of noise, but we'll make a few modifications, install the appropriate sleeves. Otherwise, the firing order is the same. So there's no need to tamper with the timing mechanism. We'll use the stock configuration, and now it's a matter of finalizing everything and starting the engine. What do you think? Will it even start? Tell us in the comments. I think it will. Okay, we've got everything assembled and hooked up. The engine is at an angle and we have a good view of the rotating assembly. And now the interesting part, which is getting it to start. I think it almost got there.
Так.
Take a look at that. I actually noticed something interesting. That the crank is attempting to evacuate. What appears to have happened is that the crank was trying to slip out towards the gearbox side of things. It has literally been displaced inside of its bearings. So we've been trying to get this started, and so far we've been experiencing some difficulties. Nothing too serious, easy to fix on the spot. But we're not losing hope. Let's continue. The starter motor again, for crying out loud. Come on now. It even started, not for long though. This is the situation. My oh my, the crankshaft snapped. We have lost the crankshaft. Lost the crankshaft, that's a wrap. So there you go, guys. Such a result was to be expected. The weak spots have reared their heads. They didn't seem too serious to us, but this entire setup is actually very complicated in how it operates. A bunch of rubbing and rocking parts, the load shifting all the time. It's a complicated design. And it didn't take long for us to get here. As soon as it started firing, even the exhaust manifold was getting warm. I mean, it was running, but then was it really? It coughed a couple of times, and the stress level led to this result. But we tried this, and worked out that tried and tested layouts are more reliable. You saw it all for yourselves. That's all I got for you. Catch you guys later.